The tale of King Arthur and Mordred is one of the most iconic and tragic legends in medieval literature. It's a story filled with loyalty and betrayal, love and vengeance, and ultimately, the fall of a great kingdom. The climactic battle between Arthur and his son, or nephew, depending on the version of the tale, has been retold countless times. But what makes this clash so compelling? Let's dive into the legendary battle for Camelot, starting with the rise of Arthur and the shadow cast by Mordred. Arthur Pendragon's destiny was foretold long before he pulled the sword from the stone. He was prophesied to unite Britain, to bring peace and prosperity to the realm, and to establish a kingdom that would be remembered for centuries. With the guidance of Merlin the Wizard, Arthur became king and created the legendary Round Table, a symbol of equality and unity among his knights. Camelot thrived under Arthur's reign. Knights such as Sir Lancelot, Sir Gawain, and Sir Percival embarked on legendary quests, most famously the search for the Holy Grail. Queen Guinevere's beauty and grace complemented Arthur's leadership, and Camelot seemed unshakable. Yet, beneath the surface, cracks began to form. Enter Mordred. In many versions of the legend, Mordred is the result of an illicit union between Arthur and his half-sister, Morgause, or her sister, Morgan Le Fay. This revelation is as much a curse as it is a shock. From the moment of Mordred's birth, doom seemed to follow him. Prophecies foretold that Mordred would be the cause of Arthur's downfall, and this dark cloud lingered over their relationship. Mordred's upbringing often varies in the retellings. Some portray him as an innocent pawn, manipulated by Morgan Le Fay to fulfill her vendetta against Arthur. Others depict him as ambitious and power-hungry, driven by resentment and jealousy. Either way, Mordred's entry into Camelot marks the beginning of the end. The seeds of betrayal were sown when Mordred became a knight of the Round Table. While he initially seemed loyal to Arthur, his true intentions gradually surfaced. In some versions, Mordred uncovered the affair between Queen Guinevere and Sir Lancelot, a scandal that fractured the unity of the Round Table. This betrayal not only tarnished Arthur's reign, but also emboldened Mordred to challenge his father. The final confrontation came when Arthur left Camelot to pursue Lancelot, who had fled following Guinevere's rescue from execution. In Arthur's absence, Mordred seized the throne, declaring himself king and attempting to marry Guinevere. News of Mordred's treachery reached Arthur, and he returned to reclaim his kingdom. The two armies met at the fateful Battle of Camlan. The scene was apocalyptic. Stormy skies, clashing swords, and the anguished cries of warriors. Arthur's loyal knights fought valiantly, but Mordred's forces were relentless. According to legend, the battle was triggered prematurely when a soldier drew his sword to kill a snake. This small act escalated into an all-out war, leaving the battlefield soaked in blood. Arthur and Mordred finally faced each other in single combat. The clash of their swords echoed across the battlefield, each strike filled with fury and sorrow. Mordred fought with the cunning of a man who had nothing to lose, while Arthur's blows carried the weight of betrayal and duty. In the end, Arthur struck Mordred a fatal blow, piercing his body with his lance. But in his dying moments, Mordred dealt a mortal wound to Arthur, often depicted as a thrust to his head or chest. Both fell, the battlefield littered with the bodies of knights and soldiers. The aftermath of the battle is as legendary as the fight itself. Arthur, gravely wounded, was carried away by his remaining knights. In many versions of the tale, he is taken to the Isle of Avalon, a mystical place where he is said to rest until Britain needs him again. Mordred, on the other hand, was buried in ignominy, his name forever tied to treachery. Camelot, once a beacon of hope, lay in ruins. The Round Table was shattered, its knights either dead or scattered. The golden age of Arthur's reign had come to an end, and with it, the dream of a united Britain. But why does this story resonate so deeply? Perhaps it's the themes of loyalty and betrayal, of how even the greatest of heroes can be undone by those closest to them. Or maybe it's the tragic inevitability of the tale, a reminder that even the most legendary kingdoms are not immune to human flaws. King Arthur and Mordred's battle for Camelot is more than just a story of swords and shields. It's a reflection of the fragility of power, the consequences of ambition, and the enduring allure of myth. As we remember this legendary clash, we're reminded of the timeless lessons it holds about leadership, trust, and the price of betrayal.